Wonderful deep divers, to all of you who are standing up for your freedom, standing in your power, I am saluting you because we are the power, we always were, and we always will be. And now, at this very critical time in human history, remind yourself, you are not alone. You are supported. And the bravest thing that you can do is to live your truth. Are you ready? I'm ready, deep divers. Raising the frequency. I was born ready, deep divers. Raising the vibration. I came here for this. Let me just breathe with me, deep divers. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Take that, take that, take that good ass energy I'm sending you, deep divers. Another gorgeous day, like the sun is beaming right now. It is so marvelous and bright. There's no place I'd rather be than with the birds, bees, leaves, and trees. The air is so pure in the heart of nature. Did you get your butt into nature today? Did you get your butt into nature today, deep divers? That's the question. Now, a lot is happening in the world, deep divers. Where shall I start? I said a lot is happening in the world, deep divers. Where shall I start? We got a whole lot to talk about. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers. We are out here in the heart of nature, baby. So, there was this video floating around of people at a beach, like observing this sun rising, a fake sun in China, but it was actually a rocket, okay? But there is an artificial sun that China have produced, which is 5 times hotter than the real sun, through a process of nuclear fusion, right? Nuclear fusion. And this sun is an artificial sun, and it's cost $1 trillion, right, to create. I want to talk to you about this concept of false light. And that artificial sun is a sign of the false light that is going to come onto the planet, which is going to deceive people away from the real light. Slow motion this side. We got a lot to talk about, deep divers, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? And talking of China, recently 20 million people went into lockdown in China, and I actually saw the pictures and the videos of these quarantine camps. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is literally like the Squid Games, right? These white containers, these white metal containers, even pregnant women and children are in there, these tiny cells. And it's actually shocking to see actually, oh my gosh, this is what the world is coming to. And for those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, a lot of you know that something is not right on the planet. And I'm here to remind you, you're not crazy, you're just waking up. Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. I said you're not crazy, you're just waking up. Because right now, so much is happening in the world. And this is all a wake-up call for all of us to say, actually, if we don't stand in our power and do something about it, we aren't going to have any freedom left. Once you hand over your freedom, it's very difficult to get back. And right now we're dealing with manipulators. I'm a psychologist, I'm a counselor, I'm an infinite being, I'm a multi-dimensional being having a human experience. And these manipulators are using subtle forms of manipulation, covert, overt actually as well. And one of the forms of manipulation they use is something called gaslighting. And gaslighting is when you make someone actually doubt their own sanity. Okay, a famous play called Gaslight. Gaslighting is being used all throughout the world. And how it works is, hey, if you have another perspective about what's going on, if you don't believe what we're telling you, if you don't believe the science, if you don't believe the government, if you don't believe the mainstream medias, official narrative about everything that's happening right now in the world, then you are absolutely crazy. You're imagining this, you're neurotic, you're dreaming up this stuff. Gosh, you crazy conspiracy theorist. But now millions of people are starting to wake up all around the world, and they're actually saying, I'm not crazy, I'm waking up. Manila, Philippines. Those who have not had the vax are not allowed to ride. No vax, no ride on public transport. This is what the world is coming to. And I told you, this is not just a medical issue. Now this is about your freedom. This is about us seeing that the whole world is turning into a 1984 Orwellian nightmare. And if you don't stand up to say something, it's only going to get worse. There are comedians out there who are laughing at anti-vaxxers. I'm not anti-vax, I'm pro-choice, by the way. Slow motion this side. But they use these labels to judge people. And this is what manipulators do. They call people names, right? And I was just listening to this comedian Deep Divers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's literally roasting anti-vaxxers. Like, if you aren't on board with this whole agenda, he was just saying so many jokes like, oh, these people are idiots. He actually said COVID-idiots, right? And I'm like, okay, this is what manipulators do. They laugh at people to control them. They laugh at people to control them. That's what the media are doing. They're laughing at people who have a different view about what's happening. They say, oh, these crazy people at the protests, these violent people at the protests. No, they were very peaceful, right? So we have to remind ourselves of what's happening. It is manipulation to the highest degree. Fact checkers, right? Fact checkers are all around the world right now. And in fact, 80 fact checkers contacted YouTube. They sent a letter to Susan, the CEO of YouTube, and they said, hey, we're going to remove like all misinformation about what's happening. We're seeing a war on your freedom of speech. And this is what's happening all around the world. And I'm encouraging you, deep divers, to continue to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, because we are in a spiritual war. It's a spiritual warfare happening. The good news is that I came here for this moment. I'm a Pisces, born on March 3rd. That's 3-3. 33, that's the master teacher, right? So when you remind yourself that you also, if you have the eyes to see, you are protected. You came here for this moment, and you have to face infinity without flinching. You have to let love guide you and not fear. Fear is the only way they can control you. Fear is the only way they can control you. And they are afraid of love because love creates a world they cannot control. Slow motion this side. So this concept of the false light, you have celebrities, the so-called celebrities, the fake stars, right? Just like the artificial sun, the fake star. They have people following that. They got people following them. But they are leading you to the slaughterhouse. And then you have the real sun, the real star, which is you. And when you remind yourself of that, you no longer feel powerless, you feel powerful. But there is an agenda to follow the false light. We see it. Like growing up, we were shown music videos promoting violence, living in your lower nature, be on demon time. This is the agenda they want for your children. And it's time to wake up. And for you as well, it's time to wake up to the false light. Not everything that glitters is gold. But this is where we are. They want to play God. And when I actually saw that artificial sun, the nuclear fusion, right, that creates it 5 times hotter than the real sun, I'm like, oh, they want to replace the real sun. That's what this is all about. They want to have fake trees as well. It's already happening. And more so, they want to keep you trapped in the metaverse. That's the false light. They want to keep you trapped in the metaverse. That's the false light. So you got to remind yourself, everything that's happening right now is all about creating this false light to get you to believe in. When in actuality, you have to stay in tune with the real light, which is the truth. What manipulators also do is public shaming, and we're seeing it happen. They also isolate people. So this helps with the gaslighting to say, hey, you be by yourself and stay with your crazy thoughts, right? You be by yourself and stay with your crazy thoughts because it's all in your head. That's a sign of manipulation. Also, coercion. That's what manipulators do. They coerce you into doing something against your will. So I'm here to remind you, deep divers, you can say no. You can just say no to everything that's happening because you are that powerful. Raising the frequency. Everything, they have reversed everything. They turned the truth into a lie and the lie into the truth. That's the false light. And you have sports stars pushing the agenda, film stars pushing the agenda, music artists pushing the agenda, but that's the false light. Like Kanye West said, if you say anything in the music industry, you lose everything. So this is the reason why you got to say, wait a minute, instead of me following this false light, the false idols, I got to follow the real light, which is inside of me. And the real light is inside of you. Listen to yourself. If something does not feel right for you right now on the planet, you're not crazy, you're just waking up. The whole agenda was even in the film Silence of the Lambs, right? Silence of the Lambs. That's what this is all about, the censorship. To silence you. To say, actually, what you have to say is no longer valid. Just listen to me. That's what manipulators do. They remove your thoughts, your freedom to think for yourself. They take it away. This is what happens in domestic abuse relationships. Humanity is being bullied right now, and the only way out of this is to stand up to the bully and say, no, enough is enough. Because if you continue to do what the bully wants, it's only going to get worse. What? Slow motion this side. I told you, this is modern day slavery. And slavery didn't end, it just took on a new form. They have programmed you to be dulled in your senses. Modern warfare, Call of Duty, all of these violent video games are preparing you for you to live in your lower nature. When right now we got to ascend to our higher nature to say, actually, being free is our birthright. Actually, we didn't come here to live like this. We came here to be free. You see what's happening in China, right? You can see what's happening in China right now with those quarantine camps. It looks like Squid Games. Well, it's also happening in Australia. Pay attention to what's happening in Australia, because what's happening in Australia and China is what's going to happen in your country. And if you don't open your eyes to see what's happening, you're going to be living in a 1984 nightmare. You see, Aldous Huxley, who wrote The Brave New World, said, there will come a day when men and women grow up to love their servitude. There will come a day when men and women grow up to love their servitude and they will never dream of revolution. That's the false light. Your iPhone, I got an iPhone. It's a great tool, but a dangerous master. The iPhone, what happens? Look at the symbol, a half-bitten apple. That symbolizes the forbidden fruit. That symbolizes the forbidden fruit. And that is also the false light. We've got all of us, billions of people all around the world staring at these screens, the false light. So you've got to remind yourself, your phone is a tracking device. And that's why you got to sometimes switch it off and go and see the real light, which is the sun, get that vitamin D, do a little samba, baby. The false light is also the false foods. Every 35 days, your body makes new cells from the foods you are eating. You are literally what you eat. So it's time to say, actually, let me start absorbing the real light in the plant-based foods, the cucumbers, arugula, spinach, Brussels sprouts. This is the real light, not the fake foods, right? So junk foods, that's the false light. Real foods, that's the real light. Music that moves you to your lower nature, that's the false light. Music, shout out to Lauryn Hill, that moves you to your higher nature, that's the real light. Friends who are actually distractions, that's the false light. When they say, hey, follow me, then they take you somewhere and get you into trouble. Be careful of your circle before they hurt you. That's the false light. But people who come to you and help you evolve and help you live your best life, that's the real light. So right now on the planet, we got to pay attention to the real light and the false light. And like I told you, the inorganic ones are trying to play God. They're trying to literally create an artificial sun, which they're doing already, right? They're creating synthetic trees. So they're trying to literally take away Mother Nature. That's why they want you trapped in the metaverse. There are humanoids right now that look just like human beings. And this is the agenda that's here on the planet right now, to turn a human being into a cyborg, a QR code, an artificial intelligent being. No, I'm a real intelligent being. Thank you very much. Slow motion this side. I want to remind you, deep divers, right now, we are in great times of change. The greatest thing you can do for yourself right now is not to follow the false light. Follow yourself. The real light inside of you has the answers. Trust yourself and remind yourself, you're not crazy. You're just waking up. Ask questions. Manipulators don't want you to ask questions. You know why? Because if you ask enough questions, it will eventually lead you to the truth. What? Slow motion this side. I said, if you ask enough questions, it will eventually lead you to the truth. And this is why, if you're around someone who's like, hey, do not ask questions about what I'm doing to you or what I'm putting in you, just take it. Question mark. Because you want to be like a child and ask as many questions as you can. A fool asks no questions. A wise man, a wise cat down the road, a wise woman asks as many as it takes to find the truth. And we are the truth. We are the power. I love all of you, deep divers. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Hey. Beautiful deep divers. I'm breathing in that real prana, the real light. Woo! Breathe with me. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. Raising the vibration. And they told you what they were going to do in the films. Minority Report. Minority Report. Demolition Man with all the artificial intelligence. It's time to wake up. Because time is running out. And one day you're going to wake up and say, oh my gosh, this place is so artificial. It's a choice for you to choose the real light over the false light. Deep divers, shout out to everyone who's been getting the wonderful good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And if you are a sexy ass model, woo, with a whole lot of heart who wants to model the clothing, well, go and buy some. Let me know why you have what it takes. Let me know why you have what it takes to be an Infinite Waters model, okay? Go and buy the clothes. Add me on Instagram for more daily inspiration at Ralph Smart, at official Ralph Smart, and Facebook at Ralph Smart, at Infinite Waters, And Snapchat, it's that good ass prana, baby. Check out the new book, Deep Divers, for more powerful, life-changing information just like this video. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. They tried to bury us, deep divers. They forgot we were seeds. Right now, so much is happening in the world. Make sure you are protecting your energy and make sure you are not allowing yourself to be made inferior. Stand up in your power. Let love guide you, not fear. Deep divers, you are appreciated. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You! Leave a comment down below, deep divers, of love and appreciation. And let me know what you are doing to protect your freedoms. Let me know. You know what I'm doing? I'm waking up every single day, doing a little samba, baby. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Just saying that. Peace.